It's been a long time coming, but it's finally time to drop the green flag on the inaugural season of the Domino's TYJ Cup Series. All 43 drivers here tonight all want to become the first winner and the first champion, and it all begins here in Charlotte with the Precious Metals of North America 200. Hello, sim racing fans, and welcome inside the Inside Sim Racing broadcast booth. I'm Gabriel Wood, alongside me, as always, Tyler Herr and driver analyst Bucky Burt. With so much anticipation from both the owners, admins, and drivers, Tyler, I don't think there's anyone here that's not jumping to take that first checkered flag.
Everyone here is looking for that checkered flag. I mean, who doesn't want to win the first race of an entirely new league, new season, anything? You always want to be the first no matter what. If you don't want to be first, then I don't know why you're in here exactly then.
Yeah, no matter what these guys do for the rest of the time in this league, they'll always be the inaugural winner. Now, Bucky, as these drivers make their final preparations before qualifying and they get the race started, one thing's for sure, they want to start off their chase for the championship off right here tonight.
Most definitely, and I think the first thing to keep in mind is to not focus on the amount of money you're going to win tonight, because it doesn't matter about tonight. It matters what you do for the remainder of this season. Tonight is a big race, the first inaugural race of the Domino's TYJ season, and I think that the thing to focus on tonight is just to run your own race. Try and maximize the best of your opportunity. Try to maximize on points, lead laps, get a good finish, be consistent. I think consistency is what's going to win you the championship in this league.
Well, now I've caught up with two men who are a very integral part of tonight's race. To one side of me, I have league owner Rob McFarland, and on the other side, I have Precious Metals of North America representative Judd Danielson. Now, Robert, I've got to ask, with all the work you've been putting in into this league for the past few months, how gratifying is it to see a full grid of cars getting ready to set to battle it out for your league's trophy?
I tell you what, I am just really, really excited to be here. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be part of this. We've been putting in a lot of work, me and a lot of guys. I got to mention them. Judd has been a big help in what we've been doing. He's one of our admins. Also, Kevin, Mike, Ryan, Chad. I hope I hadn't left anybody out. And this is the first of 20 race season. We are looking forward to tonight being a big beginning, marking the first for Domino's TYJ.
Little bit of mic cutting out there on Robert McFarland's part. But yeah, as he was going to continue to say, they got a long road ahead, a long season. It's just the first part of it. But, I'm very excited, and I hope it's the first of many races here for the Domino's Series. Now, the other person beside me, he of course, is the race sponsor representative of Precious Metals of North America. Judd, explain to me and the people at home what your company is really about.
Sure, thank you. Basically, PMONA, the Precious Metals in North America, we're a bulk materials provider. What we do is we're a hard rock mining company out of Lander, Wyoming. And so basically, folks can own this material in its natural state. And basically, it is theirs before it passes through any middleman, like we would all know as to be a retail position. In this case, you are in at a wholesale position, meaning that you own this material, you're guaranteed a minimum, and we will process and deliver. So pomona.us, PMONA.us, you can get all the information you need off the website. Company's been around for a little over 7 years now. We're just looking forward to helping folks get themselves diversified more so in their portfolio and make sure that they're protected in the future to come.
A very unique company, a unique sponsor. I know that you guys are glad to be part of the first race in the Domino Series. Now, I believe you have a couple cars in the race tonight.
Yeah, we have number 85, which is my car, sponsored by Pomona tonight, and number 88, which David May is driving. We're basically running the same paint schemes, but Ripon Eagle Racing and Conspiracy Motorsports is on board with us for the year, and Pomona wanted to make sure that they were involved in what we're doing here. So they decided that this was important to them to get on board, and we were offered by Robert and Domino's TYJ Racing to take this first inaugural race for the 2016 season.
All right, well, that's two cars to really keep an eye on here tonight, the 85 of Judd Danielson and the 88 of David May. Judd, Robert, I'd like to both thank you, and hopefully you have a good race here tonight.
Thank you.
Those two men are the very, very important part of this league. Of course, Robert started the league, and Judd is he's kicked in a lot of money into this league. Now, let's talk about tonight. We're in the practice session right now, and we're going to have 2 laps of qualifying after the practice session. Tyler, you've been looking up and down the timesheets. What are you seeing so far?
Well, so far what I'm seeing are very, very high speeds here. Going into turn 1, you're going over 200 miles per hour. All these guys on their first few laps are right around 190 on both ends of the track in the center of the corners. Everyone's flying around here. But the big trouble spot I've seen so far tonight, turn 4. I've seen plenty of guys hit the wall out of there, spin through the grass. I think that's going to be a trouble area for tonight's race.
The other trouble area I like to talk about is turn 1. You never really think about turn 1 as being trouble, but Bucky, my prior experience here at Charlotte, there's a huge bump going into turn 1, and it upsets the NASCAR cars, not really the truck, but it upsets especially the Cup Series car a lot going into turn 1.
Most definitely, and it upsets me the most when I do race the Cup car at Charlotte. As far as the truck guys go, those trucks are real fun to drive, especially at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But tonight, these guys are running the Cup cars, and that bump is very dangerous. If you hit it, and you hit it just right, you may end up wrecking yourself and your night and your chances at getting a good finish to start the season off. That bump is going to be something to watch tonight. A lot of these guys in practice have been trying to find the line that can get them into turn 1 to exit turn 2 the best. And you don't see the bump until you go over it. That's when you feel it. And it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys handle, especially whenever they go too wide into turn 1.
Yeah, that outside lane as you arc into the corner, that's where the bump is, and that's where it upsets the car. Watch for it on the restart, because these guys, like you said, they're going to be side by side coming to the restart. When they go down into turn 1, watch that outside lane. You can get a run, but if you hit that the wrong way, you're going to be backing up the traffic behind you. So that's going to be a very difficult thing, especially on cold tires just after pit stops.
Most definitely, and I think at the very beginning of this race is when we're going to see the most issues we're going to have with the bump, because of the fact that these guys are going to be restarting and you're going to have a full field, and everything can stack up really quickly. But definitely the bump is something to watch throughout the progress of this race.
All right, let's go ahead and look down your timesheets right now. Top 10 drivers right now, separated by about 2/10 really. Nathan Shore, he's a lot faster than the second place driver. He's in the 55 with a 27.138, very fast lap time. And then Curtis Young, he was doing very well in the preseason race at Texas that you saw here on LSRTV too. He's in the 19. He is clocked in with a 27.2 flat. Zachary Duba, he ended up locking himself along with a few other drivers. I'll get the names of them later. 24, Zachary Duba, he is in third position with a 27.235. Jeff Wilkie, Chad Klinger, Paul Fugit with another good practice session. He's been very consistent. He's just been very unlucky in the races. Kevin Fetty, Joshua Ramos, Ray Richer, and Philip Mayer is your top 10 practicing speeds. Tyler, talking about that Texas race and the race before that at Vegas in the trucks, that was the final preseason race for these drivers. And Bucky, you were there also. You can kind of elaborate as well. There was some very hard racing that caused some a lot of controversy.
Yeah, well, I don't know about, controversy, that's for sure. I was thinking about me, because on lap 13, I was just trying to mind my business, and we stacked up, and I got wrecked. But it's okay, it was just a practice race. But I think the controversy that you're talking about is when Marcus Potts, for Pit Stops for Hope Motorsports, the team that I'm involved with, he ended up having to come down pit road, and we were wondering why. But come to find out, when Chad Klinger did not get a good restart on that one restart, it costed Marcus Potts the race. He ended up getting a black flag and had to serve a penalty, and we had no idea what was going on.
Talk about no idea what was going on. I had no idea that even happened. We were sitting there watching the race up front. The controversy I'm talking about, Tyler, was the drivers racing up front. That'll be another thing to look for, though, Bucky, is the drivers getting black flags, especially on restarts, trying to jump it. Is if you can get that good lane going into one, you're going to take off because that driver just does not get the arc going into one. But Tyler, we had two guys, we had top three really get together. I believe it was the 00 Sean Meyer and Curtis Young. They got together on the back straightaway at Texas and ended up taking each other out.
Yeah, I was watching that battle there, and Sean Meyer just took it a little wide out too, hits the wall, collects the 19 of Curtis Young back at Texas, and that opened up the race for so many other drivers. We ended up seeing the 48 win that race, and he came out of nowhere because of it. I mean, you have all these guys that are very competitive, and one little mistake can not only end their race, it can probably ruin the race of someone else, and maybe 2 or 3 other drivers as well.
Yeah, I was talking earlier about one of these drivers. Excuse me, just a second, Tyler. You can go back to your point. Sorry, we're having a lapse of concentration here. We're so excited for the race. We got so many notes, but we're going to get ready for qualifying here, see who can get the pole. We're going to ride along with the number 19 of Curtis Young. He's going to try and get a good starting position, second position in practice. So he's in a very good position to get the pole and have a good race tonight.
Most definitely, Curtis Young has been one of the most consistent drivers over the preseason Thunder. Now that it's time for the big show, can he keep that momentum running? He was P2 in practice before qualifying with a 27.2 flat. So let's see if he can back that up.
Before we had the confusion there a second ago, we were checking the entry list tonight. We had a couple of new drivers, like I was saying. The third place runner at Texas, Curtis Aho, he had no practice, no qualifying, and ended up bringing his car almost to victory lane. But a late race restart where he started on the outside shuffled him back to the third position. Great finish for him. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight. The other driver, the new driver, Moses Nazrico, he's in the number 26, so look out for him. He also qualified for the series in Texas. A couple of rookie of the years to also watch out for this season. Ray Richer in the number 44, Justin Anderson in the number 16, and Ray Sanders in the number 7. So a couple of rookies to look out for this season running for the championship. Qualifying times are starting to come in. Curtis Young, we're following on board with him. He has the best lap time of the session so far with a 27.103, Tyler.
Yeah, I was following along with him, and he was flying that lap. I was just amazed to see how well that car stuck to the bottom. I was watching his speeds about 191, 192 at the center, and just over 200 miles per hour coming off the corners. That's incredible here at Charlotte.
It's fair to say he's got the handle on the track here tonight. A couple of drivers picking it up. 94, Kevin Fetty. He ends up picking his position from 7th in practice up to the 2nd position.
Kevin Fetty's been one of those guys at Charlotte Motor Speedway on iRacing over preseason Thunder that's been so fast. So I think he's going to be someone to watch tonight if he can stay out of trouble.
All right, as these guys finish up their qualifying laps and get ready for the race, we're going to go ahead and go to your national anthem and command to fire engines. We'll be right back.
Drivers, start your engine!
That was Wesley Bryant with your national anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get the first green flag of the year and for the career of the Domino's TYJ Cup Series. Curtis Young on the pole with a 27.103 fast time for him. Kevin Fetty, another great qualifying position for him. He's been very consistent throughout the preseason with a 27.111. Chad Klinger in the 12 starts third. Tyler Roberts in the number 8 will start fourth. Last car on the top 5 is Ellery Queen in the 62. Brent Rogers will start 6th. Mike Donahue in the number 70 starts in 7th. Patrick Elhover in the 8th position. Ryan Steinacker and Nathan Shore round out your top 10.
Sean Meir in the 00 starts 11th. 12th is Robert McFarlane. Joshua Ramos starts 13th. Ray Richard 14th. Philip Meyer starts 15th. Judd Danielson on his outside in 16th. David May in 17th. Paul Fugit starts 18th. The 112 car starts 19th. And Jim Locking rounds out the top 20.
Starting 21st will be Chad Payne. 22nd will be Lynn McNeese. 23rd, Gary Weston. And 24th, David Gainforth. Your 25th starter is Gary Brown. 26th is Steve Cunningham. And 27th is Dennis Cook. 28th, Eric Hawk. 29th, Jeff Wilkie. And 30th is Don Norris.
Clay Harris in the number 07 will start 31st position. Brad Rose in the number 33 starts in the 32nd position. 33rd goes to Marcus Potts. Justin Faulkner in the number 51 starts in 34th. Ivan Jones and Dean Viney will round out your field of the drivers who qualified. Justin Anderson and Moses Nazarico get the provisional qualifying positions in 37th and 38th. That is your full grid, ladies and gentlemen, for the first race, of the Domino's TYJ Racing League. One lap of pace, and we will get this season underway.
I know the drivers are anticipating the start of this race. A lot of nerves must be going through them right now. Everyone is watching. They're on the iRacing channel, brought to you by LSRTV. You want to make a good showing for your sponsors tonight. Everything is on the line in the mindset of these drivers. Your season starts now.
134 laps here tonight. 201 miles is the official race distance. All the cars file up 2 by 2 going down the back straightaway. Lights, of course, out atop the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. Going into turn 3, this is the only pace lap we get, so we're going to green. Tyler, final thoughts?
Well, final thoughts here are hopefully they can make it through turn 1 with that bump all right, and I want to see them get spread out, get a nice long green flag run here, see what they can do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time the pace car is going to pull off for the Domino's TYJ Cup Series. Let's make it a good race. We are underway here in Charlotte. Great restart from Kevin Fetty in the number 94. He gets a good run, but the 19 has that pole, so he's going to have the inside run going into 1.
Looks like all the drivers made clear so far at the front of the bump. Let's see if they start to fan out.
Guys, side by side, 12 of Chad Klinger gets the position on 94 of Kevin Fetty. So move Kevin Fetty down into the 3rd position. Right behind him, that is the 8 of Tyler Roberts. Have to get used to the new numbers. He's going to make the move on Kevin Fetty. Looks like Kevin Fetty's just trying to find his position in line. Looks like Chad Klinger, he's catching that number 19 of Curtis Young, so we may have a battle for the lead. Car coming off pit road almost gets into the leaders.
Looks like there's a car smoking down the apron. Did not get a number on there, but the battle for the lead right now between Curtis Young and Chad Klinger is really heating up right now.
Yeah, it looks like 3 cars I counted around the racetrack that were kind of going slow, so we're going to have to find that incident somewhere. Chad Klinger, he's going to get the inside. 19 runs a little bit high. Chad Klinger put the bumper. He kind of put that aero draft on him and kind of got him to run up the racetrack. But 19's pulling back away.
You're going to see the 19, if he runs a little bit higher, that's going to allow him to get a better run off the corner. So if he can just sort of hold the middle lane right now, I think he can actually hold off Chad Klinger, as they have a huge advantage over third place.
Yeah, Chad Klinger is actually gaining right now on Curtis Young, your leader. Let's see. He's trying to change his line a little bit. He's definitely catching.
Battle for around the 10th position back there, 12th position side-by-side cars. Nathan Shore just got the position on Ryan Steinacker in the 48. He won at Texas. Sean Meir side-by-side with Patrick Elhofer. So those guys battling for the 11th and 12th position. Everybody else kind of fanned out single file, so they're already finding their place in line. And 00 should find his place as he gets the outside run on the 5. So chalk that win up to the 00 Sean Meir.
Chad Klinger is now right on the back bumper of the 19 of Curtis Young. The battle for the lead is definitely heating up. Going down the back stretch, looks like a lap down car is going to be in the way. Let's see if this changes the outcome of the lead coming out of turn 4. And he's going to look through the inside. We're going to have a drag race going to turn 1. I think Chad Klinger may take the lead here. Let's see.
But he's going to need that whole exit to get the run off of 2. He's not going to get it. He's going to be pinched down to the inside like that inside lane does. So that's going to allow Curtis Young to retain the lead.
It's almost like he wanted to use that lap car as a pick to keep Chad Klinger behind him. Pretty smart move from Curtis Young early in the going.
I got a little scared right there from the 07. He almost came up in front of the leaders, but I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, just watching how close they got to that lap car was a little hair-raising, but they've sorted it out and are...
And Kevin Fetty, yeah, go ahead, guys.
Kevin Fetty making a move on third place with Tyler Roberts trying to fight back on the outside. Kevin Fetty is going to take third place and going to set his sights on the leaders now.
Oh, Tyler Roberts gets put into the wall. He he was in it with the 60-foot Ellery Queen, so those guys make contact, and Tyler Roberts gets the short end of that stick into the wall. He's surely got some damage.
Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much right now.
Looking at the replay there, it looked like the 62 just drifted a little high, tagged the 8, and just sent him right up into the wall. No one else was collected, though.
While that little incident resolves itself, Curtis Young is pulling out almost a second lead. Should be about a second gap this time by as they come by the stripe. So Curtis Young, he has either saved his tires a little bit from the start of the race, or he's abusing them now because he is gone.
The battle for the 6th position is actually heating up with Mike Donahue and Nathan Shore. Ryan Steinacker just lurking right there behind them. This is probably one of the best battles we have on the racetrack right now.
Battle for 4th place right now between Brett Rogers and Ellery Queen is also a pretty good one there, and it also looks like right behind Sean Meir is a bigger pack of cars, the injured car of Tyler Roberts. He's just falling back now.
Yeah, I think he's probably waiting for a caution to come out so he doesn't lose even more time. But he does not want to be the caution, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think those guys were all single file, and then Tyler Roberts, he had his little incident, and that kind of slowed up that pack, kind of bunched him up. Huge
While we were
jump.
watching that,
Curtis Young.
guys,
Sorry, Tyler.
Chad Klinger ended up hitting the wall off of 4 while we were watching that battle. He's dropped back to 3rd now. Kevin Fetty has moved up to 2nd place.
Moved Kevin Fetty into the 2nd position, right where he qualified.
Kevin Fetty's a driver that you definitely want to watch in this race. He's been one of the quickest cars in all of preseason Thunder. Kevin Fetty is my pick to win this race.
Well, before he can win this race, he's got to catch that Curtis Young. Curtis has pulled out a huge gap. Chad Klinger was kind of holding these guys up, or until he hit the wall, Kevin Fetty was able to get past. But Curtis, he has pulled out almost a 2-second lead, so he's in control of this race. But as we saw last time we were with the Domino Series at Texas, just because you have the lead does not mean you're safe. And that little incident we were talking about earlier involved that number 19, so he's looking for a little redemption.
Going back through the field around the car around the 5th position between the 70 of Mike Donahue and Ryan Steinacker and Nathan Shore. There's a big fight there. Just a bunch of guys trying to fight for the top 5, getting into the top 5 position here early in the going.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. These guys, they all got somebody to race with. The entire back half of the top 5 and the rest of the top 10, they're all about equal on pace, so they're able to really race side by side with each other. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far in the first 20 laps.
Yeah, one thing that kind of sticks out to me, to see these guys race here, and since it's early, I think we can kind of discuss it, is the paint jobs that these guys have come up with for this first race. You definitely want to look good for the people watching. You definitely want to look good because you're on the iRacing channel, as well as a great broadcast with LSRTV. The paint schemes is something that's definitely caught my eye so far in the early running of this race.
A lot of great paint schemes being rolled out. Speaking of rolling out, there goes the 48 of Ryan Steinacker. He barrels past the number 70 of Mike Donahue, and 55 Nathan Shore almost got by, but the outside lane able to hold it for 70 Mike Donahue. So move him down to the 7th position. Move Ryan Steinacker into the 6th position. Go to challenge for the rest of the top 5. He's already caught the 62 of Ellery Queen. Ellery Queen in the outside wall with Chad Klinger. Chad Klinger involved in another incident, but he's able to keep pace. But he's going to lose that 4th position to the 48 of Ryan Steinacker. So great moves by Steinacker, able to make up a lot of positions. Now he's going to set his sights on Brett Rogers.
Yeah, it looked like Steinacker just held the throttle down there coming off of 4 to get around everyone. And it looks like Chad Klinger is trying to push back now again. Just a huge gaggle of cars there, some damaged, and it really looks like everyone's trying to push. You just see them pushing through the center off the corner, just really abusing their tires.
Yeah, if I was the 48, I would not look in his rearview mirror because there is an absolute hornet's nest behind him.
Yeah, Mike Donahue is making some charges through this pack to the hot. Whoa, the 62 kind of backed up the corner there and allowed Mike Donahue to get around Klinger. Klinger is going to be the loser in this big deal here.
Yeah, he's just fallen back since the start, since he was running in the 2nd position, hit the wall. Hopefully, whenever we get some pit stops, he's able to fix his damage and kind of work his way back up front, because he has speed. So he's just going to need to get his damage repaired or whatever's wrong with that car. He's going to be right back up in the mix. Speaking of in the mix, here comes Sean Meir. He started in the 11th position. He's working his way up front, going to challenge for that position held by Chad Klinger. Wait for the updates to score.
Oh.
Gaggle goes out again. Everybody using different lanes. The 70 of Mike Donahue is going to take that way middle lane. 62 of Ellery Queen. They're all scattered out, these guys. One person makes a mistake, everybody tries to find their own line.
Sean Meir has got a lot of damage. He ran right into the back of Chad Klinger. he is coming to pit road now, and Chad Klinger's still out there. Makes you wonder how much more longer he can drive this car around the racetrack damage. This is a type of track that is so aero dependent. It'll be interesting to see how long he can handle it.
Unscheduled pit stop for the 00 Sean Muir. Great racing for him at Texas, but unfortunately, just like many others, did not get the finish that he deserved. And unless he can catch a few cautions, because he will go at least one lap down, I don't think he's going to get the finish he's going to deserve tonight, because he was working his way back up front.
Yeah, Sean Muir is one of those guys that that is very great with judging how to run the race. He likes to take care of his stuff, but he also puts the car in great circumstances. Just he ran right into the back of Chad Klinger. I think he just backed up the corner there, and it cost him his race.
Little battle brewing here on the front straightaway. We got the 3 of Brent Rogers. He's making the inside move as they go by the start-finish line, the 94 of Kevin Fetty. So move Kevin Fetty. I think, Brent Rogers gets the position. So move Brent Rogers in the 3 into the second position, 94 down to second. Here comes Brent Rogers. We've seen a huge fight for that second position, that coveted second spot on the podium, silver. I don't think these guys are going to be settled with it. This being the first race, you want to be that winner. But Brent Rogers, all these guys really are looking big picture of the championship.
Yeah, we were so preoccupied watching that battle for around 5th place, we didn't even see Brent Rogers move his way all the way up to second there until now, and he's actually about 0.2 of a second faster than your leader, Curtis Young.
You know, one driver who apparently would like to remain nameless is the 112 car. He has worked his way all the way from 19th to 8th. He's just close to 5 seconds off the leader. Maybe the nameless driver, he's now up to 6th, or excuse me, 7th. Maybe someone to watch, whoever he or she is.
Trying to find the name of that driver, the 112. Listed in the session as 9, so we're going to try and find that name somewhere. Curtis Young pulling out yet again. So Brent Rogers was catching him, but now Curtis Young pulls out that lead yet again. So I think Curtis kind of lets him reel in and realizes that he's being caught, so he just kind of lets it go again.
Yeah, right now there's another battle right around the 5th position. Mike Donahue going back around Steinecker there in the 48. Just right around that 5th position has been a large battle of drivers just trying to get their way to the front.
Yeah, it almost like these guys, they're so much faster, when they're catching somebody. It's just like those guys are on old tires and whoever's catching them is just on 4 brand new sticker tires. But as soon as that person gets by and gets in that dirty air, because we have enough gap to the 4th place driver, Kevin Fetty, as soon as you get in that dirty air, you're gone. You're so slow, you end up getting caught by the rest of the pack.
Most definitely, and I think right now in this race, you want to be the leader. But then again, we saw last week in the preseason race that being the leader doesn't keep you safe from everything. We saw the leaders take themselves out. And by the way, as we're talking, that number 112 has now worked his way up to 6, and he's closing in on the top 5. Ray Schmidt. Ray Schmidt is the guy's name.
Ray Schmidt, he is our Stig. He was unknown to us until just a second ago. Our producer ended up getting his name for us. So Ray Schmidt, remember that, in the 112. He's working his way. He is in the 5th position, started in 19th, practiced 40th. So a lot of pickup, gradual pickup throughout the session. Just he gets more and more laps. He gets faster.
Now, as I just got done talking about Mike Donahue, and right as I got finished talking about him, he tried to avoid that large bump that we were talking about going into turn 1. He went too high, hit the wall going into turn 1, has right front damage, and just let Ray Schmidt, is it? He just let him by.
Car coming off pit road, that's the 38th position driver of Jeff Wilkie in the number 11. So some sort of problem for him, either that or he's pitting early. or he's on lap 2. He has just started the race, so a little bit of late entry for Jeff Wilkie. Or he may have been one of the drivers involved in the original accident we saw on lap 1 or 2. So he's been able to get his stuff fixed. We see it again. Brent Rogers, he's cut it down from about 2 seconds to 1.7. So Brent Rogers is coming, but will he have time before we have pit stops, or will
Mike
his
Donahue
tires wear
coming
out?
to pit road, guys. Mike Donahue is coming to pit road.
Looks like the first-year driver is coming to pit road. We should see the start of green flag pit stops. So Mike Donahue, if he does not get it, if he needs to get his damage fixed, so he may not be an accurate representation of what we're looking for. But these guys short pitting, we could see them make a huge amount of time. We've seen it in the past couple months with these Domino's drivers. They like to short pit. They like to make up the position on pit road.
I think what it comes down to is they love fresh tires. I've been hearing the guys talk about it over the past 2 weeks. Fresh tires, they love it. We have a car through the grass there. Looks like the number 5.
Number 5 of Patrick Elhofer hit the wall off of 4, slides through the infield grass, and he's actually holding up Mike Donahue on the apron there. Mike Donahue just got off of pit road. He needs to get going, but he just can't because he has to stay right behind the 5.
A little development here on pit road. Ryan Steinacker, he was one of the factors up there around the top 5. He went to go leave his pit box, or he went to go enter his pit box just as Brad Roaston, the number 33, was exiting. So he made contact on pit road.
A lot of exciting things happening in the early stages of this Domino's TYJ season inaugural race. A lot of drivers that we have anticipated to be contenders really hurting their chances, and Kevin Fetty is leaving pit road as we speak. Another driver to watch as he is on the apron.
Two of your front runners on pit road. Curtis Young, your original leader. Looking at the replay right now, yeah, I saw that. I noticed Steinacker was pitting, and just as I cut to him, I looked at it. He made contact. It looked like he was trying to make it to his pit box, and he was expecting the iRacing server to kind of ghost him through like it usually does. But he just made contact with him.
Pit road is definitely an exciting place, but right now your leader is the number 3 of Brent Rogers, followed by Schmidt in the 112. Queen Ellery is in, or Ellery Queen is sitting in 3rd place right now.
You know, you brought up the pit stops and how it is such a huge portion of this race. You know, when you think of guys that can win and lose their race on pit road, you never thought that they'd lose it by getting into some contact. You think just, you know, making extra time on pit road can cost you a few seconds on the racetrack.
A couple of drivers on pit road, Ellery Queen and Ray Schmidt. Tyler was just talking about them. They both pitted at the same time. Ellery made a very aggressive, but it was a smart move. He made up a little bit of time on pit road when he was entering. He made a very aggressive move and braked a little bit early coming off turn 4. So he was able to make up a little bit of time on the 112.
Looks like the 112, though, is going to make all that time back up coming off of pit road there. A real quick stop for him. So far, Brett Rogers still staying out. Now he's coming down pit road to the service of his crew.
Mike Donahue, one of the first drivers to come to pit road, he is charging through the field with those fresh tires right now with Chad Klinger behind. It looks like Chad Klinger's going to look to the inside. Mike's going to, they're going to go side by, no, Mike Donahue gets to run off. Chad Klinger apparently has fixed his damage, and he's starting to run more competitive laps right now. He is all over Mike Donahue.
Can he keep it out of the wall? But yeah, Chad Klinger has got his stuff fixed in front of these guys. Don Norris in the 37, he's a couple laps down. And then we've got Paul Fugit in the 6th position. He has yet to pit. So the first of the drivers who have pitted so far is Mike Donahue. Or excuse me, it is Kevin Fetty. Curtis Young, okay. Looking through the field, trying to get it resorted. Curtis Young, he will retain the lead whenever Brent Rogers pits.
And by the way, while we were focusing on Curtis Young, Chad Klinger got around Mike Donahue and pulled away. He took the 51 with him.
Yeah, Chad Klinger, it looks like he's finally showing the speed that he's been able to show during qualifying. Moved the 112, Ray Schmidt, into the third position. 10 seconds back, he was short. He was able to make up that time on pit road. He didn't just pull away from the 62 of Ellery Queen. He pulled away from a couple cars, so moved the 112 into the third position. Great pit stop for him.
Actually gave the 45 of Paul Fugit. He actually pit on lap 32. He's one of the bigger movers through that sequence of pit stops now.
Wow, I didn't expect Paul to make that kind of a jump. I was just thinking he didn't pit. That's an amazing job from Paul Fugit to make up those positions, and he's staying up there. Chad Klinger, he's got a fast car, but he's able to hold him off for a little bit.
Yeah, Justin Faulkner is now looking under Chad Klinger for the 5th position, and they're going to have a drag race. Looks like Faulkner takes the position. Now his eyes are seeking on Paul Fugate for that 4th place.
I talked about Faulkner all night. He's making a good run just outside the top 6, and yeah, like you said, he just got by Chad Klinger, one of the faster cars in tonight's race, so he's going to set his sights again on the 45 of Paul Fugit. Fugit's able to keep up with the 112. We've seen Ray Schmidt has speed, so there's some motor under that 45.
Caution is out. Caution is out. 23 car. Cause of the caution.
23 is Gary Brown, so that's going to be the 23 smoking here on the front straightaway.
You know, right before that caution came out, I was going to say, you know, it'd be interesting to see with Paul Fugate up top here, or in the top 5, after a caution would come out, how would he handle being up there, up close to the leaders? Now we'll know.
Looking at the replay there, the 14 just gets loose off of 4, comes down, clips the right rear of the 23 of Gary Brown, and just turns him. Heavy damage. And while that was going on, the 41 of Robert McFarland slid all the way through the grass.
All right, guys, we've got everybody basically on pit road. At least your top 3, everybody's coming to pit. One thing we saw during the race at Texas and at Vegas last week, guys ruining their chances of a good finish by just sliding through their pit boxes and having to back up, losing that little bit of time. I'm seeing the 112 and Curtis Young and Chad Klinger. They're all making good entries into their pit stalls, so they won't have to worry about that. So Chad Klinger, if he gets a good pit stop, and he is going to win the race off pit road by a mile.
Interesting here, Ray Richer in the 44 pit stops for Hope Motorsports stayed out. He decided not to come down pit road. Let's see if he actually decides to stay out and restart as the leader or come down pit road. Maybe just wanted to lead a lap for points.
Yeah, Ray Richer, one of your Rookie of the Year contenders. So every point can count. You got a field that's as stacked as this. Everybody's very similar iRating, very similar talent and speed. So every point can count. So we may see him just stay out for one more lap and get his lap led, because he's in 3rd position right now. So he would not get a lap right now.
And Ray Richard does decide to come down pit road. So it looks like his plan was to try and get a lap led and maybe try and restart at the back of the pack and hope that some of these guys ahead of him run into trouble. And Ray does have some right side damage, it looks like.
Yeah, give Ray Richard the official lap led there under caution, and Curtis Young, he's going to go. Curtis Young is actually going to move to 2nd. Steve Cunningham is going to inherit the lead now.
Yeah, Ray Richer, his pit box, he was a little bit farther down pit road, starting in the 14th position, so his pit box was after the start-finish line. He was able to be on pit road and lead that lap on pit road. So will Steve Cunningham, we're going to see him, maybe, will he just kind of risk it and stay out? or will we see him pit now that he's going to get his lap led?
Pretty smart by Ray Richer to do that, knowing that his pit box is past the start-finish line. That's pretty impressive and smart calling from the crew.
Very heads-up move from him. I'm interested to see this restart because of Steve Cunningham. Hopefully he comes to pit. If not, we're going to see a huge gaggle of cars up behind a car with no tires. Should see him, yeah, he's going to stay out just to get his lap led. Now, will he pit right before we get if we're going to get the 2 to green this time, he'll pit on the 1 to go.
Well, I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to do that. It looks like all the wave rounds are going to be let by. Looks like they're going to go 1 to green this time. It's going to be Steve Cunningham going to lead the field.
I don't think he's going to pit, guys. He is lining up the side lane. Pretty sure there would have been some communication. I know the guy running third would not be happy if that's the case.
Lights out top the pace car, so we're going to have a new leader, Steve Cunningham, when we go back racing. Rest of your top 10, the 19 of Curtis Young, he's led the entire race here tonight, except under caution. 94 Kevin Fetty, 112 of Ray Schmidt, Justin Faulkner in the 51 in the 5th position, Nathan Shore in the 55. Paul Fugit made a great pit stop, able to work his way up front. 70 of Mike Donahue, Jim Locking, and David May. So, first caution of the night here around lap 45. Almost to halfway, so a great run to start the Domino's TYJ Cup Series year. Hopefully they can build on it as Steve Cunningham gets ready to lead them to green. First lap led of the year. Here they come. Pace car is off. Will he get a good restart? Will those old tires hold up? We're green flag in the air. 19, he's got to let him by. He will get a black flag. 19 lets him by. So the 86 will lead that lap, and he'll lead going into 1.
Looks like the night. Sorry, go ahead, Curtis.
Very clean restart by the field there, and it looks like Curtis Young is going to waste no time trying to make a move on Steve Cunningham here. He's peeking to the inside in turn 3, and he's going to clear him before they even get to 4.
Looks like Curtis Young is going to reclaim the lead and let everyone know that if you're going to win this race, you got to take it from me. He has stretched his lead out now to almost a half a second over what would be second place Kevin Fetty here in the next lap or 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Kevin Fetty does not get by the 86 of Steve Cunningham, Curtis Young is going to have a huge lead just for the fact Kevin Fetty could not get past, and Curtis was running just a little bit slower, but he seems to be keeping up. So, old tires holding up, he just could not hold on the outside there on the restart.
And I'm not sure when Steve Cunningham last pitted, but he may have pitted not long before the caution came out, so he might be just a little off of the leaders on tire wear.
I'm looking at his stats, trying to find his last pit stop. It doesn't appear to me that he had pitted. Oh yeah, he pitted around lap 40, excuse me. So a couple laps. So he doesn't have that old tires, but 5 laps could make a difference later in the run.
He's actually closing in on the leader, Curtis Young, right now. If he can stay out here for the next 10 to 15 laps, I would say, and we get another caution, this may be one of the moves of the race. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, and let's wait and see. He's got some fast times right now, but the tires really aren't that old. Will that 5 lap kind of gap come into play as he's catching Curtis Young? That's very surprising. But if he's able to keep up during the rest of this run before we get pit stops, that's something to let these guys know, hey, when we get later in the race, if we have a caution, I don't have to pit if I pitted early enough or late enough.
Well, let me ask you this. If Steve runs Curtis real hard, Curtis will then maybe run hard himself and use up his tires. So this may be a smart strategy move on Steve Cunningham's part.
Well, if that's the case, then Kevin Fetty is in the catbird seat, but it looks like he's trying to get around the 86 of Cunningham. So Kevin Fetty trying to move to the second position does not have a run yet, but we should expect him to see it. He's going to try the inside lane on the front straightaway, duck it down, almost clips the grass. He has a fender on him going into 1, so Kevin Fetty has the inside, almost slides up the racetrack, but he's going to hold it down.
Yeah, Kevin Fetty is now Curtis Young's best friend because while they're battling for second, Curtis is able to check out.
Yes, the best of both worlds, really. The 86 isn't able to hold that good of an outside lane, but the 94, he cannot run that inside lane well with that 86 on the outside. So, you know, if the 86 is trying to just race him clean and let him go, he's still hurting the 94.
Looks like Kevin Fetty has cleared, not quite yet. It looked like he almost had him clear in the middle of 1 and 2 there, but now he definitely has him clear in 3 and 4. All he needs to do is complete this pass, which he's gonna. Steve Cunningham coming back underneath. Steve Cunningham, he really wants that second place right now.
That was a great move from the 86 of Steve Cunningham, especially on older tires than the rest of these guys. So Steve's done a great job after the pit stops of not using his tires. Maybe he anticipated the caution coming after the pit stops.
You know, as we have some time here, the race sponsor, PMONA, is on 2 cars tonight, David May and Judd Danielson. And David May right now is solidly inside the top 10, running 8th. So just wanted to give those guys a shout out and hope that he's hoping to get a good run in this race for their sponsor tonight.
Yeah, the other driver in that stable, we talked to him earlier, Judd Danielson, not having really the night he wanted, but it's not over yet. He's in the 19th position. Not that bad of a position, but not what he wants, so he's got time. Well, while we have a lull in the action right now, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back on LSRTV 2.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston. I bought my first truck in 1982 when Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks, terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month with some of the best equipment in the world. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
We're back here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Lineup has really been shaken up. Move the number 55 and Nathan Shore into the 2nd position. Steve Cunningham, move him down to the 4th position. A lot of shake-up here. Kevin Fetty down to the 6th position. These guys just started racing really, really hard side by side, and the rest of the pack caught them. And that speed difference, of course, the 86 Steve Cunningham, he was on older tires, and I think it's starting to show.
Change the 2nd place over to Faulkner now. He just passed the 55 of Nathan Shore for that runner-up position, but they are still a huge distance behind the number 19 of Curtis Young.
Yeah, Curtis Young has really just checked out. He's now 2.5 seconds over Faulkner. And like I said earlier, Curtis Young is saying, hey, if you guys are going to win this race, you're going to have to get through me. Definitely been the class of the field tonight.
Led the entire race except for the caution flags. Looks like the 112, Ray Schmidt, he got loose there on the bottom. The 55 Nathan Shore able to get by him there on the outside. But Justin Faulkner, he's worked his way up from the 34th starting position. So even if he does not get the finish he's wanted, he's shown some speed. And I think he's ready to challenge for this championship.
Most definitely. And tonight's the night to kind of make your case to the rest of the league members that, hey, I deserve to be in this league. I can win. I can be competitive. And like I said in the broadcast at the very beginning, tonight is the night to make a statement, to show the guys that you're going to be a threat and you have to go through me. Right now, Curtis Young is the one that's been able to do that. And as we've been talking, Justin Faulkner has actually picked up 2/10 on the leader. So Justin Faulkner seems to be the quickest car on the racetrack right now.
Another guy moving up, Paul Fugit, he's moved up into third spot. Or he's battling for third anyway right now. I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do so far tonight.
Yeah, he seems to be making the high line work for him. I've been watching him as he's been making moves up top. So definitely something to pay attention to.
Yeah, it looks like he just got loose out of 4 there, brushed the wall a little bit, but doesn't seem like it hurt him at all. Move him into third place and have it secured.
You guys, I'm back. A little bit of mic trouble. Wow, I was getting a new mic, man. A little bit of shake-up again, so it seems like every time I leave, something happens.
Well, we're glad to have you back with us. I had no idea you were gone, to be honest with you.
Oh, that makes me feel loved. Well,
don't
showing a
take it
little
that
love
way.
there to Paul Fugit in the Lions Club International Chevrolet, the 45. Great run for him tonight. He's back up to the front. Third position, highest he's been all night.
Yeah, he's definitely making a statement tonight, and he's definitely one of the guys that's real strong in the late going. He is just laying down really good laps, picking up a 10th or 2 every lap on the leader. So if this thing ends up running green, we'll see if he can run him down. If not, maybe being able to restart in the top 3 would be something Paul Fugate is definitely looking forward to.
All right, as we're crossing the halfway break right now, we're going to go to iRacing.com Midway Race Break. Brought to you by iRacing.com, the leader in motorsport simulation and the official sim racing partner of NASCAR. Your leader, he's been there for a while. Curtis Young in the 19, Justin Faulkner, the 51, followed by him, the 45 of Paul Fugit. 55, Nathan Shore, 112, Ray Schmidt, 94, Kevin Fetty in 6th position, Ryan Steinecker in the 48, David May in the 8th position, Mike Donahue in the 70 in 8th, Brent Rogers rounds out your top 10.
Well, Steve Cunningham dropped outside the top 5 with those old tires. He is running in the 12. He had just lost another position. So Jim Locking is your 11th place driver, then Steve Cunningham. Ellery Queen is in 13th. Philip Meyer, is running 14th. 15th is Lynn McNeese. 16th belongs to David Gainforth, and 17th is Chad Payne. Judd Danielson on with the colors of this race tonight, PMONA as a sponsor. He is running 18th. 19th is Eric Hawk, and Ray Richer is 20th.
Rounding out the lead lap cars in 21st is Ivan Jones, Robert McFarland in the 22nd position, Gary Weston, final car in the lead lap in 23rd. First car 1 lap down, the number 5 of Patrick Elhofer. Tyler Roberts runs 25th. 26th is Justin Anderson. Dennis Cook 2 laps down. Joshua Ramos another 2. Sean Meir 3 laps down in 29th. And in 30th place, Moses Nesreco 4 laps down.
31st position, the drivers, they are all more than 10 laps down. Chad Clear, we saw him up front a lot. It looks like the damage was just much for him, as we have him in the 31st position, 11 laps down. Marcus Potts in the 32nd position, 16 laps down. Domino, Zachary Duba, Brown, Brad Rose, Jeff Wilkie, Clay Harris, and Dean Viney in the 39th position, the last car to get on the racetrack. One car did not take the green flag, the 420 of Russ Coe. That is your full field as we get past halfway. This has been your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of racing possibilities on the web, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. We said just
move him up to second place. He's 2.5 seconds behind your leader.
One of the guys that is been a part of all the practices, very consistent with running his race, and has a very clean race car. So look for Paul Fugate to be someone that can challenge Curtis Young for the win tonight.
Yeah, we've seen Paul. He's been having a lot of great races throughout the preseason. He just could not get the finishes that he's deserved.
Most definitely, but he is in a prime position to make a statement tonight. This race is the one that matters, not the pre-race Thunder races. Right now, he's 2.5 seconds off of Curtis Young. These guys, I think if we get a caution, I'd love to see these two guys battle out. It looks like Paul Fugate is coming to pit road, as well as the 55, excuse me, as well, of Nathan Shore.
Also on pit road, the 70 of Mike Donahue. So looks like we're seeing the start of green flag pit stops here. Paul in a good position, one of the first cars to pit, but the drivers behind him also pitted. So we should see him retain his position as long as he does not have any mistakes here on pit road.
Paul Fugate is now coming off of pit road, and it looks like the 55 is actually going to beat him off of pit road, and that is for position. Nathan Shore comes out in front of Paul Fugate, but it's really interesting that Nathan decided to come to pit road right when Paul did. I think if you want to try to beat the guy, maybe come down pit road with him and have a better stop.
Yeah, we saw him take a little bit wider of an exit there on the apron of pit road. He was able to make up the time back there on Nathan Shore, so he kind of made up for a little bit of mistake there on pit road. Don't know if there was one, but he lost the position, so he has lost the gain some time somewhere.
Yeah, the 55 is all over the racetrack, trying to make up as many positions as he can right now. Nathan Shore, if everything goes well and they actually pick up time on Curtis Young, we may see a new leader.
Speaking of new leaders, David May in the race-sponsored car, he is putting it out front again, a little bit of TV time. That's always, and kind of biased on offhand, but but you know what? He's deserved it. He's able to stay out front. He's coming to pit road. He's got his one lap led to start the year.
You never know when you're going to need that one lap, later on in this season. One lap could be your chance of making the chase or not.
Now, with all these pit stops going on right now, my biggest question is, did some of them come down too soon? Are they going to have to make one more pit stop by the end of the night? Because there's only 3/4 fuel in this league, so they're not getting the full 50 to 55 laps worth of fuel in their cars. It looks like they just ran, in the case of Nathan Shore and Paul Fugit, they only did 30 laps, and I think they're really only going to, the most you can run is between 40 and 45. I think they might have came down 10 laps too soon if they wanted to stretch it out.
You know, I almost have to laugh as you said that, because look at the guy that's solidly inside the top 5 right now, Judd Danielson. Over the last couple of preseason races, he's the one that's been bit the most on pit road. Yeah, he's now been on pit road? Okay, well, Judd Danielson's now down pit road. We'll see if maybe this pit strategy will actually help him staying out later. Kevin Fetty retains the lead here.
To elaborate more on what Bucky's talking about, he's been running a lot of races. We got a caution. He's on pit road, so
this
perfect
may be
moment for Judd Danielson.
You know, we were just talking about how pitting late may actually work out in his favor. You know, we have let's see, 15 cars on the lead lap here. Is that
Not
what it's
that
gonna
many
shake
of
up?
them. But those cars, they are on the lead lap, so as long as these drivers, I don't know about the wave around rule, but to go back to Judd Danielson, the preseason races, he has been bit with the pit strategy bug so many times, just coming in a few laps early than he should have, and it just does not pay out for him. I think it's finally done him some good.
Well, one thing that these drivers that did stay out, and are going to pick up a ton of time in spots on the racetrack, one thing that they did not want to see is Curtis Young get his lap back after pitting, and he did just that, and he is actually in the second position right now. He may end up getting the lead here after the pit stops.
Yes, still a few cars making their way onto pit road. They have not gotten a chance to. Robert McFarland, the league owner, in the lead right now. He's the first car behind the pace car in that number 41. Looks like he's coming to pit road this time. So move him back, and that should put Curtis Young back into the lead.
And Curtis Young's going to follow him down pit road as well. So we look to see all the leaders on pit road.
All right, as these guys, the rest of these leaders take their pit stops, we're going to go ahead and take one more commercial break. That should be it for us here on LSRTV 2 before we get to the checkered flag. So one more pit stop, and we are, or one more commercial break before we come back for the finish. We'll be right back. We're back. We're lined up side by side. New leader, Ellery Queen. On the outside is Philip Mayer. So we have a brand new front row. Brent Rogers in third, 91 of Jim Locking in fourth.
Yeah, Kevin Fetty, he's in fifth. Kevin Fetty, he's in fifth. He's one of the guys that's been up front. He's actually in front of Curtis Young. We'll see if he can stay ahead of Curtis Young on this restart as we're about to go green here.
First time we've seen that 62 Chevrolet out front. And number 5 kind of reminds me of Brendan Gaughan. So 62 is going to take the green flag. They're side by side coming to the line. Looks like the 17 is going to get to the line first.
But he gives the position back. And Philip Meyer, we keep getting that mixed up. He's going to lose a ton of spots here. Kevin Fetty's going to look to the inside for third.
Ellery Queen keeps the lead. That's going to put Brent Rogers in the second position. So move that 3 car. He's going to look to try and lead his first laps of the night.
Now let me ask you this, since I'm fairly new to iRacing, since the 17 of Philip Meyer was actually, he took the lead at the start-finish line, if he gives the position back, does he still get the black flag?
I'm really not that sure. I'm not really familiar about it. I think what I'm hearing right now from the rules analyst right now, if he had a far enough lead, it would have been triggering a black flag, opening a blatant restart. But he was close enough. Speaking of close, we got the 3 making a move. Brent Rogers, move him into the lead. 62 goes to the outside, trying to use that outside momentum, but it's not going to work. Move that 3 of Brent Rogers into the lead.
Yeah, Brent Rogers has been a good guy at the practice sessions for this race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's definitely shown some strength. He's trying to redeem himself from that Texas race. He ran into a little bit of trouble. And Kevin Fetty is right there running second now, or looking for second. And the guy in his tracks is Curtis Young, the one who has been the most dominant in this race. Let's see him try to work his way through the field and back to the lead. But he's got to go through Kevin Fetty.
Yeah, we had our 3 fastest drivers of the race lined up there, nose to tail on the inside, just working off of each other. Had the 51 of Justin Faulkner right behind, so move all those guys into the top 5. Well, Brent Rogers, he's getting caught by the 94 of Kevin Fetty, so we could see another new leader.
Yeah, they're right now nose to tail, 1 through 3. 4th place guy of Justin Faulkner. He's trying to play catch up right now, and he is there. So we have a battle for the lead with the top 4 right now. Curtis Young tries to look high, can't do it. Kevin Fetty now is going to lose about a 10th off of Brent. This is a great battle for the lead. You guys that are watching are in for a great show here in the late stages. Caution is out. And just as the racing gets good, caution comes out.
Caution is out. Going to have to find the culprit of it. Lucky will give you an update when that happens. Curtis Young, I was just going to point out right before we get to lap 100, he kind of drove it in there very, very deep and was just not able to hold it. And one of Justin Faulkner almost got by him.
Looks like the caution comes out for the 14 car of Gary Weston. He got into the 54, and as you see, he is right in front of the leader, so he will most likely get stuck behind the pace car and he's on the apron right now, so it looks like he's probably going to come to pit road here when they come back around.
Second time tonight we've seen that 14 Ford Fusion involved in an accident. Involved in an accident a little bit earlier, right as we were in the middle of, right after we ended the pits with the number 5, I believe, sent him through the grass after the 14 got loose. So, unlucky night to start the year.
The 3. Wow. The leaders just... Brent just got... I don't know if you can say that on live air, but he's going to be a sitting duck when we go back green because everyone behind him pitted. I know he is not happy with his team. Ray Richards going to stay out. And no, Ray Richards the lucky dog here. So the number 44, Ray Richard gets the lucky dog. Chad Payne in the 9 car, I believe he's a lap down. He is And we have a wreck here. Oh my gosh, guys, we have some very interesting stuff coming into the late stages of this race. Do you think that was maybe intentional or driver error?
Oh, huge gaggle of cars there on the exit of pit road. The 16, who is that? Well, that's the Justin Anderson car. He's very slow there on the apron. He's holding everybody up. Everybody had to check up there on the apron.
Yeah, I'm going to need to step away and try and look at this incident, guys.
Bucky, of course, is the official of the Domino's TYJ Racing Series. So I'm going to take over for his little part of it. So I'm going to be by myself here while he's taking care of that little incident. Under caution here for the third time tonight, we've had just about as much contact on pit road as we have on the racetrack, which I guess that's a pretty good sign. But Brent Rogers, so unfortunate for him. He's worked all night to get to that lead, and as soon as he gets it, he just does not pay attention when the rest of the drivers come to pit. I've been in that same position before. You know, that pit road comes up quick, and as soon as you see it, it's gone. You know, the drivers on the inside have already pitted, and you have no choice to get inside that commitment cone. So he basically, as soon as he passed that exit, that turnoff point, he was done.
Yeah, I looked at the replay. It looks like the 16 just came down into the 20. I don't know if that was intentional, but I'm going to have to step away again to kind of address this situation, guys. I apologize for stepping away, but this is something that I have to take care of here.
Busy man here at LSRTV, Bucky Burt. He wears two caps. He's the league one of the league admins, and the rule enforcer, and he's also a broadcaster. So hats off to him, doing both of his passion, commentating on people, and then getting on to them when he sees it. It's almost a dream job here as we're approaching the 1 hour point, just past the 100 lap mark. 32 laps to go. Looks like Brent Rogers is going to stay out. He's going to stay behind the pace car and hope for another caution. So unfortunate for him. Like I said, just he works so hard to get there, but now as we line them up, I believe we've got the one to go. Pace car lights are off, so we are going to get the restart this time. Going to let them roll down the back straightaway, collect our thoughts before we come back. All right, we're back. A little bit of a short little break. Brent Rogers is your leader. He did not pit under that caution. 94 Kevin Fetty, Curtis Young in third, Justin Faulkner in the 51 in fourth, 112 Ray Schmidt in fifth, Paul Fugit, Philip Mayer, Ellery Queen, Ryan Steinacker, and Nathan Shore are your top 10. Hopefully it is your final restart of the night, but we do not know. All we know is the Domino's TYJ Cup Series is back underway. Brent Rogers gets another good restart as the 94. He is outside. The 3 car gets clear, but that 19 of Young, he is right behind him. 31 kind of moves to the higher lane to use some of that momentum coming off the corner, but he has got a huge Hornets nets behind him.
Yeah, it looked like the inside line on that restart was just pushing one another through turns 1 and 2, trying to get to the front. Curtis Young dives it underneath of Brent Rogers. He's going to take the lead in a commanding fashion. Justin Faulkner is going to follow suit.
Curtis Young is making a statement right now. He's been the guy to beat all race long, and just like I said earlier, he is going to say, if you're going to win this race, you have to go through me.
All right, Bucky, you're the league rule enforcer. What happened on that exit on the pit road? Can you give us an explanation on what happened?
Well, when I look back at the replay, these guys were actually on the racetrack still, and I did not go back far enough to see if they had any issues prior. But what I looked at, it looked like to me, from what I'm watching, and these guys are innocent until proven guilty, I guess you can say. But it looked like to me that the 16 of Mr. Anderson just drove right up and down into the 20 car. And right now, my findings have gone to the administrators of the league, and it is something that they will address this week. So as of right now, all I can speak of is what I saw, and what I saw looks like a huge penalty possibly coming.
Rule pending, but pending battle on the racetrack, 112 of Ray Schmidt, 94. He's on the outside of the 94. Kevin Petty looking for that fourth position. Or excuse me, that fifth, yeah, that fourth position. Kevin Petty has got it now, and Ray Schmidt wants it back. I'm surprised Brett Rogers, he's been able to stay up there. You know, I thought he'd be a sitting duck out there on old tires, but I guess I should learn from that 86. And Steve Cunningham, cars.
We have a wreck,
away. Option is out. Seems to be involving the 44 Ray Richards, one of your rookie contenders. We're going to get the replay for you here in just a second.
You know, this is so disheartening about Ray Richard because he has been a driver that has tried to stay clean in all of the preseason races. And of course, I am biased. He's a part of my team. He's my co-host on the show. And all he wants to do is just get out there and race and have a good finish. But he always ends up getting into some bad circumstances. I'll have to go back and look at the replay to see exactly what happened. But not a good night for Ray Richard, who's led a lap tonight. By pitting late. So we'll see what happens here.
You know, Bucky, speaking of your show, I'd like to go ahead and just kind of do a little promotion for you. You're one of the main sponsors here on LSRTV. You've got some exciting news. I know you just moved into a new studio, so you can share us a little information on that.
Yeah, my show, The Bucky Burt Show, is broadcasted on Kinetic Hi-Fi, and we have actually moved to a new station. It's actually across the street into a new building. And so I will be broadcasting from a new studio. I have yet to see the new studio. We were supposed to have a show last Monday, or the Monday this week, but not everything was set up, and so we were unable to get in there and do a show. But we are hoping to have one this Monday night. And this Monday night is going to be a very short show, as my Clemson Tigers are playing the Alabama Crimson Tide for the national championship. So I am looking forward to that. But we will do a show on Monday. It'll be for about 30 to 40 minutes long, because I do not want to miss my Clemson Tigers playing for the national championship. But we should be in our new studio. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have some new equipment as well. But the Bucky Burt Show, you can go to BuckyBurtRadio.com, follow on Twitter at BuckyBurt and at Bucky Burt Media for all of the latest on the show. And I appreciate you for letting me, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, Bucky, and I kind of envy you because you're a Clemson Tigers fan. You know, they've had a great season so far this year. I'm a huge diehard Florida Gator fan, and we have just not had the season. Hadn't had the season for a while now, but I'm sticking with them, and I think our coach can get us there. So a little bit of break for talking some football. Just unfortunate season for us.
Yeah, well, y'all's former coach, what's his name? He went to Auburn, and now he's Muschamp. He's actually now at my rival, South Carolina Gamecocks. So we'll see if he can actually have some success there. But yeah, my Clemson Tigers, the only undefeated team in college football right now. If they win the national championship on Monday night against Alabama, they will be the only team that has won 15 games in a season. So they've got a lot to be playing for right now. And I actually think my Clemson Tigers can pull it out. I'm very confident. We have Deshaun Watson. Oh, now we're going to talk to racing. I get it. So you're not a football fan, huh?
Apparently, our producer Cisco does not want us to get off track. Let's talk about some racing, some upcoming events. We, of course, this being the start of 2016, we've got a lot of new series coming on LSRTV. It's our first full year of doing broadcasting. We got our feet wet last year, but now we've got 3 full-time series running this year. Of course, we've got the Domino's TYJ Cup Series along with their Truck Series. The Hardline Truck Series coming up. Their season debut is on Wednesday. And the Can-Am Racing Series, they are running the B car. They're going to be on Tuesday. So the week after the Daytona 500, look for them here on LSRTV too. So a lot of great racing to look forward to. And one thing to look forward to is hopefully the last restart of the night. I said that last time. Hopefully it's true this time.
Hey, you mentioned Hardline Racing League. I'm actually going to be in that race when they kick off the season. That's another league that I run in. So hopefully I can get a good start to that season as well. So look for me in my Clemson truck.
I think about with the amount of football and the amount of off topic we're getting, our producer Cisco may fire us. He may fire. He may find some new broadcasters. So if you're looking to get into broadcasting,
Yeah.
the other thing we need to look at, Judd Danielson. He's done it again. He's stayed out. We're gonna miss it. We missed it again. Bucky, we need to stop talking football. Let's talk some racing. Judd Danielson on the inside. Good restart on the old tires. 19 of Kirk Young gets a good restart. He's going to lead him back to the line. But the 85, he's going to lead him back to the line. Excuse me. He's going to have the inside lane. Following him is the 51 of Faulkner. So move Faulkner. Faulkner's trying to get the inside position on the 19. Will he have it? That outside lane really doesn't work on the restart. You kind of have to have it wound up to make it work. They're side by side racing for second. 51, I thought he was going to try and go for the lead there for just a second. He's going to dive it down.
We're going three
wide for the lead. Down the front straightaway.
You know, this is some great advertising for Judd Danielson, the title sponsor for tonight's race, PMONA. And he has now dropped all the way to third. The 51 made a daring move underneath Judd, and it actually gave Curtis Young the lead. He was the victor in that battle, and they are stacking up on the backstretch.
Move the 51 of Faulkner into the second position. Faulkner into the second position. Judd Danielson down. Brent Rogers, he was able to pit, so his saving grace, it kind of saved the race tonight. He's going for the third position on the 85 of Judd Danielson. So, pretty car, he pitted, and his mistake is kind of righted. He did not pit under that last caution, missed everybody pitting. We're side by side, a huge gaggle of cars. They're all 2x2 cars. Brent Rogers, they're side by side. The 86 of Steve Cunningham, 45 of Paul Fugit, Ray Schmidt, Brent Rogers, Tyler Roberts. Oh, big wreck on the first straightaway in the tri-oval. Cars sliding all over the front straightaway. The 101 of David Gainforth through the tri-oval.
Gary
lot
Brown's
of good
in
cars here.
Nathan Shore, he was up front. He was in it.
Ivan Jones.
Tyler Roberts. Jim Locking, he was in it.
Looks to me, looking at the LSRTV replay, I'm looking. The 85 of Jeff Danielson ended up getting into the wall and hit the 112 of Ray Schmidt. That sent him up the racetrack. Tyler Roberts was not expecting the 86 of Steve Cunningham to check up, and it ended up just stacking up all of that inside lane. So Steve Cunningham goes upside down into the fence. A couple cars going through the infield. I'm seeing a couple of drivers need to get the numbers. Guys going through the infield to miss that wreck, but a lot of guys just had nowhere to go.
You know, something to keep in mind, Judd Danielson stayed out under that last caution. And, you know, him being someone involved in this wreck, you have to wonder if fresh tires versus old tires had something to do with it.
Well,
I think he just pushed up against the wall. Sorry, Tyler.
I was gonna say we've seen the old versus new hold on for maybe about 5-6 laps there, but looked like Judd Danielson, he just didn't have the car tonight and just started dropping back. Everyone, with how close they were, it looked like they were pacing under race conditions.
One of the drivers lucky enough to make it through it, Paul Fugit, so he's going to get into the fourth position. Looks like some luck is finally coming his way.
As well as Kevin Fetty. He's been another driver that's been faster in preseason Thunder, and he's able to kind of keep his nose clean tonight.
We're going to have to check with that 86 of Steve Cunningham after the race, see if he's okay. I think this may be a simulator, but I think he went a little dizzy there. He went for a huge ride there on the front straightaway.
Yeah, I feel bad for Nathan Shore, though. He was one of the guys that was up there in second and third place earlier tonight. His race is all but over. He's missing the entire front end of the car right now.
Yeah, Nathan Shore was one of those drivers that made daring moves battling for position. And it's unfortunate that his race has come to this. And a lot of cars are on pit road here, lap down cars and guys at the back of the pack trying to get work done. You know, you've got this time to fix some damage, so might as well come down pit road.
Well, updated top 10. We've only got 15 cars on the lead lap. That should change because a couple of these guys like Ryan Steinacker, David Gainford went for some wild rides. I don't know if the 101 of David Gainford got any damage on that, but the top 10 so far right now, Curtis Young in the lead like he's been pretty much the entire night. 51 of Justin Faulkner in second, Brent Rogers in third, 45 Paul Fugit yet again. Great job of him making it through there. 94 Kevin Fetty, Robert McFarland in the sixth position. Ray Richer, one of the rookies, he was able to, he was, I believe he was the reason for the caution, our last caution, so great recovery by him. 53 Ivan Jones, the 112 of Ray Schmidt, and David Gainforth in 10th.
Yeah, 11th is going to be Ryan Steinecker. He in the 48 car. He won the Texas preseason race last week. A track very similar to this. You never know, anything can happen. You might can finish it out. David May in the 88. He's going to be 12th. 13th is Nathan Shore. And rounding out the lead lap cars in 14th is Judd Danielson. Philip Meyer is 15th, one lap down. Mike Donahue is 16th. 17th is Dennis Cook. 18th, Joshua Ramos. Sean Muir, tough night for him. He's 19th. And Tyler Roberts is 20th.
Looks like to me, sorry, Tyler. Hate to cut off the update of the field. Looks like the lights are out atop the iRacing.com pace car, so we're going back racing after that huge cleanup there on the front straightaway. A bunch of good cars caught up in it. Tyler Roberts, Steve Cunningham, Judd Danielson, all of those guys caught up in it. They all been up front all majority of the night. But this has introduced a few new players, giving them a chance. They don't have a few cars to pass. Robert McFarland, he has not been inside the top 10, I don't believe, for most of the race. That moves him into the sixth position. Ray Rich said in the 44, car off. 19 of Curtis Young. Will this be his final restart? Is this all he has to do? 14 laps go. He gets the good restart. The 51 of Justin Faulkner on the outside. Looks like 19 is going to get almost clear as they go into 151, pulls in behind him. Does not want to be on that outside lane. Top three singled out side by side. 94 Kevin Fetty, 45 Paul Fugit.
That 51 of Justin Faulkner is a guy that I've been watching in the late stages here. He seems to be the one car that can stick with the 19 of Curtis Young. And we have a caution back out onto the raceway.
Cautions breed caution here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're slowed down again for the third consecutive time. A lot of these guys just getting really antsy where, they all want to finish as well as they can to start off the year. I don't blame them, but it's costing a bunch of these guys. It already caused one big wreck, so I think these guys, they'll kind of get the message and we'll get some clean racing here toward the end.
Yeah, it looks like we're under caution for the Meyer machine. Philip Meyer, he was turned by Dennis Cook is what I'm hearing. And both these drivers are stuck a lap down. Do we have a replay?
Yep.
10-4. Look at the replay of the incident while we're back under caution.
Steinecker actually goes on his roof in that incident. I don't know what exactly was going on, but the 54 and the 17 were... The 17 was all the way on the bottom, and the 54 just crowded him. I'm not sure what that was about, but Ryan Steinecker, your victim in the entire incident there. He ends up on his roof and down on the infield.
Not a way you'd like to start out the first race of the season. Thankfully, there are many races to go where you can redeem yourself, but you definitely do not want to, end your first race on the roof of your car. That's for sure.
48 of Ryan Steinecker, the one who took that wild ride, he was in the lucky dog position. So if it hadn't have been for him being involved in that caution, being the unfortunate victim in it, we'd have another car on the lead lap. And now we have 13 on the lead lap so far, with the last car being the 1-1 of David Gainforth. So opportunities for these guys to make up some positions. It's kind of diminishing with these guys going a lap down. We've got 2 cars a lap down to 14th and 15th position, and a couple of drivers 2 laps down. We're going to be inside 10 laps to go when we get the restart.
And the lights are still on the pace cars, so I guess when we go green, we'll have roughly 9 laps to go, I believe. And the 55 comes back out on pit road, comes back off of pit road. He'll soon join the cars. One driver that I've got to just give an attaboy to is Ray Richer. I mean, yeah, he and I are friends. We hang out often. He's the co-host of the show. He's been through a wild night. He's got a lot of damage to that race car, but he's solidly inside the top 10 right now. I'm hoping he can get a good finish here tonight.
Now, Bucky, right before that caution, you were saying the 51, you were talking about the 51 and the 19. You had your eye on the 51 late in this race, how he was putting pressure on the 19 that last restart when Judd Danielson was up in the mix. Are these late cautions a benefit to the 51 or more of a hindrance to him?
I honestly think it's a benefit, because he's given another restart where he can try to make a move in the first in turn 1. I think if he can get a good restart and make Curtis Young make a move that could end up costing him the race, I think the restarts are really good for him. He seems to be the only car inside the top 5 that can get good restarts and hang with the 19.
Well, Bucky, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum on your opinion. I think it's kind of a hindrance to him, because every time that caution comes out, he's been able to get the inside lane and pull away from the car behind him, albeit Confetti or the 3 of Rogers. He's been able to get to the back bumper of the 19 and kind of pull away. But now, every time there's a caution, it's basically like hitting the reset button. He's got to do it all over again. And if you have enough of these restarts, it'll eventually pay off for somebody other than him. So I think the less cautions, the better for the 51.
Well, I guess only time will tell. It all depends really what kind of a restart the 19 gets, I guess. But if he can stay with the 19 of Curtis Young on this restart, here we go. We're going to go green. So we'll see right here if the 51 can hang. Green flag comes out, and here we go.
Rogers, he got a good jump there. He was able to get clear of the 94 on the inside. He kind of got a good jump on the restart. 51 hanging tough there on the outside.
Oh, no, he's
it looks
going
like
to lose some ground.
Looks like he cut down on the corner, but he thought he was going to hit the 19, so he kind of jerked the wheel back to the right. That's going to allow, he's going to come back to the inside. He's trying to go for the lead, but he does not have the momentum. I almost thought Dylan Rogers was going to get by him, but the 51, he's clearly got some speed. Other people with some speed, Paul Fugit, he's able to pick up one more position. He is in the 4th position, outside of him, the 94, Kevin Fetty. Good racing there for that final spots inside the top 5.
The 51 is all over the 19 of Curtis Young. Hopefully I'm right, guys, and Mike can pull this out. He's getting right up on the back bumper. He's going to look high. The 19 holds his line, and we have a battle for the lead right here. The 51 is taking away that top lane for the 19 of Curtis Young, and I think it's going to pay off, guys.
As this battle ensues, I want you to think about something. Look for the magic number, lap 130, round about lap 129, 130. That is the threshold. If the caution comes out, it is over. We will not get a restart. So you cannot wait for that last lap to make your move. The 51, he's trying to make it now. He's trying that same move he did last lap, the 51 on the outside. Will the momentum work for him this time? He's got a little bit better of a run on him. 19 pushes up the racetrack. The 19, he's going to lose the lead to the 51. 51 on the outside. Down the back straightaway they come. 19 on the inside. He does not have the position. 51 control car on the outside. Can he get clear? The 51 clear.
He takes the lead.
New leader, 51, Justin Faulkner to the lead inside. We have got 5 laps to go here at Charlotte.
And he's 2 to 3 car lengths ahead of the 19 of Curtis Young. I just think that was the move of the race. I don't see Curtis catching him for the lead. I think he used up his stuff there. But I could be wrong. I did call this correctly.
Faulkner is finally showing the speed he's had all night, but he has not been able to showcase it. Inside 5 laps to go, he's showing it off now. He is going to try and make it back to the stripe. The caution comes out. We have a winner, Justin Faulkner. Caution not out yet. Curtis Young still has a chance. Right behind him, Brent Rogers in the 3rd position, 45, Paul Fugit, and in 5th position, Kevin Fetty. All great racers had some tough luck in the preseason. They're showing the speed now. Brent Rogers under attack from the 45 of Paul Fugit in the Lions Club International Chevrolet. He's going to try and catch him before the end.
You have to wonder what is going through the mind of Curtis Young. Dominated the race to lose it with 5 laps to go. I mean, we still have some time. He can make a charge. But if he ends up finishing second, he's coming. He's got a... We have lap cars that might be a factor in the finish of this race. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to try and make the inside line work this time. We'll see what happens.
51 blinking on the inside, on the outside. He's able, I think his connection's under control. Control car, 101 on the inside as a pick. 51 able to retain it, but he's going to stay high. Is that going to be enough for the 19 to get the inside run?
The 19 takes the lead back, but can he clear him? It's a battle for the win right here. And he
19 gets clear, but the 51's going for the crossover.
Oh my gosh.
51 to the inside. Here we come. White flag. 1 more lap to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Move the 51 of Justin Faulkner into the lead yet again. Curtis Young right behind. He's got 1 more chance to get by. 51 takes the middle lane through 1 and 2. Is that going to be enough for the 19 to get to the inside? Here they come. Down the back straightaway they come. Final time through 3 and 4. Lap 134, 200 miles. This is going to be it. 51, Justin Faulkner hasn't led all night until the final 5 laps. He's going to come off the corner and win the first race in the Domino's Cup Series.
Curtis will finish 3rd. He lost 2nd place to Brent Rogers. He was focusing so much on trying to catch the 51 of Justin that he forgot about Brent in 3rd, and he's going to lose 2nd place and finish 3rd. The guy dominating this entire race. What a great finish for the first night of the Domino's TYJ Racing League. What a race. In a wreck, the 3 just got wrecked by Paul Fugate, it looks like.
Looked like a failed attempt at congratulations from Paul Fugate just there. Tore up a race car right at the very end. I was just speechless watching that race for the lead unfold. That was incredible.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't give you much room to talk there. This was just too exciting. I guess why speechless. I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. I guess
Ladies and gentlemen,
go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Domino's TYJ Cup Series history, we're able to say this. The winner of the points race is the 51 of Justin Faulkner. He is the first person with his name on the trophy.
He just ran a smart race, guys. Was able to save his stuff and get around Curtis. And Curtis, I can't believe it. He actually ended up losing 2 positions there at the late stages of the race and falls to 3rd.
Like I said, that was just an impressive finish to this race. I think this one had it all. We had long green runs, and then some big wrecks and a wild finish to cap it off. This Domino's League really produced here for their first points race.
You know, what I'm really excited about is, we did not know what to expect in this race. With the preseason Thunder races being a mixture of many different things, and we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our winner as well as some of the top finishers and the league administrator, Robert McFarland. You're watching the Domino's TYJ race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway on LSRTV. We'll be back.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
caught up with the driver of the 45 Lions Club Chevrolet, Paul Fugit. Paul, you finished 4th, started 18th. Talk to us about your night.
It was a long night. I really messed up my qualifying lap there. I mean, just a terrible lap. But I kept my nose clean, did a little bit of pit strategy there, and got myself up front, tried to get for the win. But I just could not get past those guys. I don't know if they saved their stuff better, but I will gladly take the 4th place finish tonight.
Yeah, we saw you fighting around the top 5 there almost all night after the first round of pit stops, and you were around a lot of action there, especially when there's a huge wreck behind you. How nervous were you for this first race of the season?
I wasn't too nervous. I mean, I've been fast the whole, preseason Thunder all so far, so I wasn't too nervous. The nervous part was just trying to get through the pack and survive.
All right, well, you got a 4th place finish tonight. Anyone you want to thank?
I'd like to thank first off Lions Club International for being on the car. I'd like to thank Evan Roush at Blown Gasket Racing, my teammates all over there. They've really stepped up and helped me get better through the season so far. And I'd like to thank Schroeder and Associates here in Mechanicsville as well for being on the car, and you guys for doing what you do for Lions and me and being on the car. And I'd like to thank Domino's for sponsoring this league, and I'm really looking forward to this year, see if we can get that championship.
All right, Paul, congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, this is Bucky. I'm down here with your 3rd place finisher, the number 19 of Curtis Young. We're down here on pit road. Curtis, you dominated the race today. Didn't get the finish you wanted, but at least you got a top 5 out and finishing 3rd. Tell us about those late stages in the race, battling for the win, and then coming up 3rd there on the last lap, the last seconds of the race.
Well, yeah, I definitely could have gone without all those cautions, but battling for the lead there, there was a lap car on the bottom, and I didn't really want to take it 3 wide and kill the front 2 cars. Also, I don't know if you guys could see, but the 51 seemed to be blinking a bit for me. I didn't want to get too close to him and cause some net code, so just decided I'd take a second, but then Brent came flying by me and I ended up 3rd, so.
Yeah, how important was it for you to come out here, dominate the race? You definitely, made a case that you're going to be one of the guys to beat on the 1.5 miles here on the Domino's TYJ Racing League.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to have a top 5 to 10 finish, put myself in a good spot to start the season, not put myself in a hole, so I'll definitely take 3rd. It's not too bad.
Definitely a good points day, lead the most laps. Tell everyone watching who made this race possible for you.
Eric Hawk, he painted the car, driving the 20 cars, my teammate, Steven Spenceley, and Gary Weston.
All right, Curtis, we appreciate it, and good luck in the next race.
Cool, thank you.
Take it back to you guys.
All right, I caught up with our 2nd place finisher, Brent Rogers. A quiet top 5 night, but an exciting last lap pass for the runner-up position. Tell us about the last couple laps there leading up to the checkered flag.
Well, we was sitting there in a catbird seat there, just hoping somebody'd make a mistake up there, and of course we had Paul breathing down our neck there, so we had to keep our wheels underneath us, and it was pretty exciting sitting back there watching, and I think Curtis got a little tight there coming out of 4 there and pushed up, and then I was able to get it down underneath him there and get a little run on him and sneak in for the runner up there. But congratulations to our winner there, and it was quite an uneventful evening for me. It's kind of just take care of my stuff, and it took care of me.
Yeah, it was we were up here in the booth just awestruck by that final pass. Congratulations on the 2nd place, though. Anyone you'd like to thank for making it possible?
Oh, obviously Domino's TYJ Racing, you guys up there in the booth there for all that you do, and Good Wrench, Oreo, Chevy number 3 here, Lap Down Motorsports there. Way to start the season. hope to do it again next week or the following week.
All right, Brent, congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
And now we go to Gabe, who is caught up with the league administrator, Robert.
Yes, unfortunately, we could not get a hold of our winner, Justin Faulkner. As we said before, he suffered some connection issues coming to the line. Apparently, his internet has gone out, so we cannot get the winner's interview. It's very unfortunate, but we've got the next best thing. The man put him there, Robert McFarland. We talked to you at the beginning of the night talking about your expectations. Have they been filled?
Yes, they have absolutely been filled. I wanted to thank you, Gabe, for bringing us on and interviewing us. I had a great night. This was a wonderful opening race to our 2016 inaugural season for Domino's TYJ Racing. We look forward to many more races. And yeah, I just got a message from Justin. He had to jump out of the car, catch a flight. I'm not sure the details, but it was something very urgent. But we wish him a big congratulations.
Yeah, we really want to wish him a congratulations. He drove a great race. And I saw you were up there towards the top 5, and you ended up getting an 8th place finish. We were talking before the race, and you were saying you're a mid-table driver. As a driver in your own series, are you proud of yourself?
Well, as you guys know, there's a lot of things going to winning these races and having a good finish. Skill is one of them, but it takes a lot of luck at the same time. That second run, or third run, I just stayed out as long as I could. I was down on my last lap of fuel, and the caution comes out. I end up leading the race, come in, and that kind of set me up for a decent finish here at the end, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Well, Robert, we know you've got a lot of people to thank putting this league together. You got a full grid of cars. Unfortunately, a few of them, like our rookies, Curtis Aho, was not able to join tonight. You know, who put this league together, and give us a little information on the backstory of the league?
Well, just real quick, the backstory of the league. A good buddy of mine, Bart, who owns 5 Domino franchise stores here in North Carolina, and we've known each other for over 30 years. I exposed him to iRacing. He fell in love with it, but with his busy schedule, he's got kids, Domino stores, he runs marathons. He just doesn't have time to participate, but he wanted to be a big part. And we put some things together on the table, signed some papers, put some ink to it, and started this league with 6, believe it or not, 6 people about 90 days ago. And you see where we're at today, and I don't get the credit for it. He didn't get the credit for it. It took a lot of hard work from a lot of people. We're thankful to the good Lord this has come together like this. And I want to thank Domino's, of course. I want to thank Haas Automotive. I want to thank Monster for being on my car. I want to thank all the guys in the group I mentioned earlier before the race. I want to thank Sprint, the fans. I really, really want to thank the fans that came on and watched this tonight and are going to be watching the replays of this on YouTube over the next few days. I also want to thank LSRTV. Couldn't have done this without them. Couldn't have done this without the Bucky Burt Show. More guys I'm just forgetting. I hope they forgive me.
Got a lot of people to thank, and you're one of the main people that put this league together, and you've done a really great job, and we're glad to carry your series. Congratulations on your great finish tonight, and congratulations on your league.
Thank you, and I also want to thank iRacing. You've done a great job, and I appreciate them being a big part of this.
That was your league owner, Robert McFarland, the number 41, finished 8th tonight in his own car. Great run for him. Well, as we get ready to close out tonight's broadcast, Tyler, Bucky, I'm going to start with you first, Bucky. What's your impressions going from tonight?
You know, I think tonight we saw a different race than what we've seen in practice for preseason Thunder. I'm really excited for the remainder of this season, or for this league, and what they present. We've got a lot of drivers that have shown some strength, and a lot of drivers that had to redeem themselves from practice that ended up having a great night. And real quick before we go, he said that Justin had to catch a flight. Maybe it's to Glendale, Arizona to root for my Clemson Tigers. How about that?
Yeah, I thought that this entire race here, to detract from the football, the racing itself was fantastic throughout the entire course of the night. We saw long green flag runs. As I was talking to Bucky earlier, there were some big action-packed wrecks in there. some controversy with cars wrecking into each other in odd fashions, and then finally a fantastic race to the finish in the last 5 laps.
Yeah, most definitely. The racing tonight has been some of the best that we've seen on the iRacing server with LSRTV, and some great racing coming up as well as on LSRTV too. The Hardline Racing League, and I'm actually going to be in that race, racing my Clemson truck. They're going to kick off the season next week at Daytona, so check out Hardline Racing to find some more great racing here on LSR TV.
Great racing on LSRTV and LSRTV2, our first full year doing broadcasting. Well, guys, that does it for us here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. A great finish to the first race for the guys here at the Domino's TYJ Cup Series. On behalf of me, Gabriel Wood, Tyler Herb, Bucky Burt, and producer Francisco Scaramuza, and everyone here at LSRTV2, I would like to thank you for joining us here tonight from the home of NASCAR in Charlotte, North Carolina. Good night, and I hope you join us again.